how much do you know about Justin Bieber? Because you seem to know his cake preferences.
It just did it. No, that was a different singer. I was thinking of. Isn't there a song named Cake? You know what?
I
I
mean,
might
there are
be.
several songs about cake, but they're not talking about cake. I hope you know that.
Oh, I know, 100%. Yes, but it just he looks like he likes cake. You know, it looks specifically birthday cake. He just looks like it. Like if you look at him and
He
if you look at
does.
his
Yeah.
look at his mugshot,
He
you know,
looks
look at his
like
mugshot, and he looks like he would. He looks like he would choose birthday cake in prison over chocolate in prison.
he looks like a coffee one cream one sugar kind of person. He
Yes.
as no matter what phase he goes through, because I know he's been through a lot, he looks like an uneventful kind of food person. Like sushi is
Yes.
gonna be salmon nigiri, no worries. Ramen is not gonna be spicy. It's classic chicken. Like
Actually,
don't
no.
worry
He doesn't
about it.
even eat ramen. He doesn't. He doesn't eat
Yeah,
ramen.
that's
That's a
too much for
fact. He doesn't
Bieber.
eat
Yeah,
ramen. Yeah, that's
like
exactly it.
no, he would never.
No, but
That's
he
too
does eat
wild. That's too
steak.
spicy.
See, but he eats steak, which leads me to believe that
Steak and potatoes.
he likes chocolate. See what I mean? So he likes the chocolate Timbit, but he likes birthday cake better.
Okay, so you think his pick is birthday cake?
Yes, final answer.
It's actually chocolate.
I I knew it. I knew it. God, I knew it was chocolate. I should have just gone with my gut, but my gut said birthday cake. God.
It's okay. I mean, we all make mistakes. This podcast has 5 viewers, so don't worry about it. Not too many people will know you failed. But also, like, like it's all good. Honestly, I never for once in my life thought what kind of Timbit he would have enjoyed. But now that we've reasoned through this, I also would have said birthday cake.
Yeah.
Because,
See.
like, it's like for my birthday, I would personally, if I had to pick a cake, I would go to a bakery. I would get a smaller cake that costs more money, of course, but I always get Ferrero Rocher. So I like
Mhm.
something that is rich, crunchy, nutty.
Right.
And I feel like if Justin Bieber, with all the money in the world, goes to get a birthday cake, he would get
Mhm.
birthday cake. Never in a million years would he get chocolate sheet cake.
He
Impossible.
doesn't know because he doesn't look like. Maybe it's
He
chocolate
doesn't.
Timbits because they're so tiny. You know, they're just little things. And that's why he prefers it. Not too much chocolate, but
Yeah, he's a
not,
simple man.
not too much chocolate. Just
Yeah.
you
But
know.
I like that point you brought about because he's a man, he wouldn't take something with sprinkles. Can you elaborate on that?
No, actually, what I said was he because he's a man, he likes
Mhm.
chocolate, which is actually completely contradictory because I feel like chocolate is mainly marketed towards women.
Oh, actually, it's a vanilla, I think, because it's seen as more of a diet product, whereas chocolate is
Really.
richer. But
Hmm.
I mean, to me, because I honestly, there was a long time, like a long period of time at the beginning of Justin Bieber's career. I would say, like the second quarter of his career. We don't know
Hmm.
where the rest is going, where he was really trying to build up a rebellious image and trying to
Yep.
see like he doesn't care, nothing matters. I'm not Canadian. I'm not that polite. Blah. And instead of passive aggressive, he was just aggressive. I feel like that sort of period shaped him and changed him in a way where his actual preferred Timbit flavor is birthday cake, and he will never admit it. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes. He's specifically choosing chocolate just to look so much cooler.
Yeah,
And that's unfair to the rest of us men out there, man. Like, come on,
yeah.
you know. God,
Like tough men
I
love
like birthday
chocolate.
cake. I like birthday cake. Come on, Justin Bieber, can you just admit it so the rest of us can just live our lives peacefully? Like,
Yeah, we just want the truth. You know, it's
literally,
all
yes,
about integrity nowadays. Just tell us you like sprinkles. You're human. We all do. We all love sprinkles.
yes.
Like,
God, man, we have to. Actually, we need a Twitter specifically for this, so we could tweet this out to Justin Bieber and ask him if he really does like chocolate or if it's all just for likes. You know, this guy's just faking it. It's all for
mm.
the views.
So I would love a Twitter. I think we're better off just like calling Justin Bieber a bunch until he answers. Like kind of like when you go to Hortons.
Yeah, we're
Just
gonna call
keep
Justin Bieber
calling.
until we get a restraining order on us.
I mean,
It's the same situation. It's
they
the same scenario as when you were calling Tim Hortons HQ, sir. Victoria's calling again for the eighth time today. Mr. Bieber, it's her. Please, can you just
It's
take
her.
this?
Just tell her I like chocolate. She doesn't believe you, sir. But I do. Do you, sir? Just get her off the phone.
He has to tweet it. Tell him to tweet it. He has to tweet that it's birthday cake, not chocolate.
Actually, he has quite a bit of tattoos. I wonder if he would get a tattoo of his of the chocolate one to cement that. Like, I wonder how far we could push the man. You know, I wonder he would go so far as to be like, no, my actual favorite is now on me, and he just has a brown blob on his arm.
Oh God, that would be hilarious. That would be fantastic. Would I pay
It
to
would be
see
like,
that? Probably not, but I would love to see him do it.
I mean, yeah, I would go on YouTube and be bombarded by Tim Hortons ads in the name of seeing this. Because, fun fact, since I've started researching this topic, I've gotten so many ads from Tim Hortons. It is now the only thing I get. It's kind of wild. I think we're in the right, and his favorite is birthday cake, but I don't know that we'll ever get to the bottom of it. I hope one day he appreciates this little rant we had about him and agrees to come on the podcast. I do not think it will happen, especially if, we keep recording. But that's okay. I can live with that. So
it's fun to dream.
Justin,
It's okay.
Dream big, get a restraining order. Classic Canadian story. So here, the interesting thing is, although he has opinions about the classic Timbits, he did come up with his own. So he came up with the Timbiebs, which launched, I believe, November 29, 2021, and is just now ending. And it caused a frenzy across Canada. So what are the 3 Timbieb flavors?
They are chocolate white fudge, sour cream chocolate chip, and birthday cake waffle.
So just off of that, which one do you think would be your personal favorite?
Without being biased, because I have already, had them.
Established a bias, yes.
God, I really don't want to say it. But the sour cream chocolate chip, for 2 reasons. This is without me thinking about the flavor.
Yeah.
Reason 1 is because, like I said before, it's about experience. And if I see something as different as sour cream chocolate chip, it's the first thing I'm going to buy. That's the first thing I'm going to try, first thing I'll buy. So that one, and 2, because of the texture. So when you look directly at it, the sour cream and chocolate chip has a lot more added over it in comparison to everything else, and so it just draws my attention way more than all the other ones.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the sour cream one is chocolate chips and cookie crumble, which I don't know how they managed to get on there, but I'm assuming they use fresh cookies that they had baked to have in their restaurant and then added those. I will say, as someone who has had all of these, I completely forgot all 3 of them what they taste like, but right off the bat, just off reading them, I would get sour cream as well, because I like the idea of a donut that has some tang to it. It lets me know it's a bit more balanced than the average, Tim Hortons Dunkin' Donuts kind of donut. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And everything else sounds a little too used. Does that make sense? Chocolate white fudge. I've heard of that before. Birthday cake waffle. I've heard of that before. Sour cream chocolate chip, though.
Yeah. That's just a little bit funky. I will say I have some reservations about the Timbiebs in general, because if you really go from a critical perspective and break it down, those are not new flavors. Those are regular Timbits with a dressing. That is how it is. Really, Tim Hortons did not worry much about reinvention or innovation. They were just like, we have an incredible Canadian celebrity. We want to make a product that will sell well. Let's just put more sugar on the Timbits. So that's actually, a theory I had. It is very easy to confirm by just comparing a chocolate white fudge Timbit to a chocolate glazed Timbit. But what's most interesting is, although it is impossible to get the ingredients of any of these, you can get the nutritional information. For each one of these flavors for the Timbiebs, there's about an extra gram or 2 of sugar in comparison to their, standard counterparts. So we know that's what they're doing, because otherwise it would be further fluctuations, because they would say, hey, if we're adding stuff to a donut, we should take out the sugar in the middle. They did not worry about that for a second. But yeah. So which one would you like to try first?
Sour cream chocolate chip, for sure.
Nice.
For sure.
For me, I was not able to get it. However, I do have the sour cream regular one, so I'll be trying that one out.
All right.
So, something?
Cheers. Yeah. It's not as sweet as the other one. But for me, it's those little chocolate chips and cookie crumbles, you said? Mm-hmm. That just adds on to the experience. I think it's great. Oh, yeah. I think it's good.
What I like about this, so I'm actually positively surprised. I guess the flavor is unexpected. So I've had, the OG sour cream chocolate chip. So I know what you mean by the texture, this little extra crunch of the chocolate chips that almost nearly dissolve the second you crunch into them. But here, instead of making it tangier, which it does, the sour cream also makes it richer. So it has a new depth of flavor that is really interesting. Actually, for me now, this would not only be a second bite Timbieb, I would take a second one, which is super surprising. I did not expect that.
I think I would do the same thing. I would also take a second bite, and actually I just take a whole box home. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's good, and it's not as sweet, so I feel like it'd be a better snack for my taste personally.
Yeah.
As less sweetness, the better.
I feel like that's one people would sleep on, and this would be your opportunity, as a strategic Timbit consumer, to actually go in and quietly pick one as you're walking by, and pick another one as you're walking by, and just get all the sour cream ones. And then the Timbit that originally would have ended up being the remaining one at the bottom of the box by the end of the day, let's say you're at a hockey tournament, by the end of the tournament, that's the one left in the box, would now be the first one to go, and no one would ever know that was the best one. That's my take.
Yeah, wow. That's actually a good take. Well, good take.
Because everyone fights over chocolate glaze. I think we're all collectively wasting our time a little bit, and there's a better one out there that is not as noticeable because it blends in with the honey dip and the old-fashioned plain. But if you just look for that crackly, misshaped, funky donut, that's the best one. That's what you need to go for.
Yeah, maybe it might just be the name. I feel like sour cream might turn some people away. I mean, from experience, somebody didn't really enjoy the idea of a sour cream chocolate chip, Timbit. But it was crazy actually when we went to Tim Hortons for the first time to try and get these. Those were the ones that were sold out, and that was the one I was looking forward to the most. Sad.
Yeah. So which one?
The sour cream chocolate chip.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, that's it. I also had to do quite a bit of hunting to get them. I'm kind of perplexed, but I think because in Canada's top 5, they're 5th. But it's befuddling to me that strawberry filled isn't even in there. I will say Quebec redeemed itself. In Quebec, it's 4th. So maybe it's a Quebec thing.
Okay.
But if we get into the sour cream one exclusively, I think statistically what may have brought him down is that you generally order Timbits to share, but you also tend to order them for your kids. And there's no way a kid would go towards a sour cream Timbit and then have it become his favorite flavor. Like, no kid is like, I love how the tang makes it richer. Like, that doesn't happen.
No. I'm pretty sure for them, like, the sweeter the better.
I want the most colorful thing with the most sugar, and I will never sleep. They're here for power,
I agree.
So yeah, the other flavors we have, would you like to try chocolate or birthday cake first?
Well, actually, just real quick, a little anecdote here, side note. Did you notice that supposedly Justin Bieber has both chocolate and birthday cake as flavors? Do you see what I mean? It comes back down to the other thing. How...
Actually, you're absolutely right. I think
he's
there's
hiding
sort of...
something.
I think he's got really this dual mind that's fighting back subconsciously. You know, I'm a
Yeah.
psych major who will never
Wait.
practice psychology. That's not true. I might, but like, I'm a psych major. I'm gonna pull that card. I think this is a psychological issue. I'm absolutely kidding. This has nothing to do with psychology. This is some Freudian nonsense. But I do think that secretly he's let us know his favorite is birthday cake.
Exactly.
Now, one weird thing. Let's look at birthday cake before we try it. They say birthday cake waffle.
Right.
This has the exact same shape as a regular like Timbit.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
I don't
I'm
know what's so
wondering, like,
waffle about it either.
so like the sour cream chocolate chip one, it's chocolate chip cookie. That's their intent.
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, they have cookie crumble. I'm wondering if they would go as far as to make waffle batter, cook it, crumble it, and put it around it. Because there is something around it. But for the life of me, I cannot tell you what it is. Because they
can't
won't
tell
give
you
me
what
the
it is either.
ingredients. They will never give me the ingredients. I could tell you in a second if you would only tell me the ingredients, and I could compare the birthday cake to birthday cake waffle. But Tim Hortons is on to me. They're gonna cut this Wi-Fi, like the Wi-Fi in my house so soon. I will never know.
The podcast just stops abruptly. Actually, just
Yeah,
by smelling it, it does smell like waffles. Maybe? Am I making something? What is that? It smells like
there's a
vanilla.
hint of cinnamon.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, whatever. Are we gonna try it?
Wait, did they make a cinnamon waffle? I don't know. Okay, salty.
Cheers.
Oh, I don't like this.
Mm,
I don't want this.
dude,
I don't want this. No.
tastes like a candle.
Num num.
It tastes like a fall selection candle from Bath and Body Works.
It
Like
tastes
how
like a candle that's gonna coat your lungs. I don't.
it really tastes like a candle. Like it just tastes like a pure like how a candle smells.
I don't understand how it's so wildly different from the birthday cake one.
I
Because
don't
this,
either.
like the middle is the same. It's
No.
sprinkles. Hold on, I don't understand this because I'm not happy right now. I'm gonna go back. Did I finish? I actually finished. No, I didn't finish the birthday cake earlier. I'm gonna go back to it.
I don't remember. I don't remember this thing tasting like this. This tastes so different.
Yeah, so okay. To everyone listening who will not be able to get a Timbieb ever again because this was the last week they were available in Canada and we fought for them. I'm actually freezing them for posterity. But I want it to be known. Tim Hortons may never give me the ingredients, but I swear on my life, the birthday cake one tastes good. The birthday cake waffle one does not taste good, and they taste extremely different.
I would.
don't get
Yes, I agree. Birthday cake is the type that I would take two of, or according to our scale. But this one, it, not my favorite. It is not my favorite, but I would take, like, if somebody gave it to me, I would bite it twice, but I would not ask for another one.
I'm
It,
like, if anyone's listening to the audio, I'm actually sniffing both Timbits. Timbits, like the Timbit and the Timbieb. One is in my right hand, one is my left hand, and I'm just going in between each, and I'm trying to see what the difference is, because the outside smells the same, the inside smells the same. They're so wildly different, and I actually don't want to research this further by having another bite, because I don't like the waffle one. It's really
I
not
just
good.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe we should
I'm gonna
move
go
on to
in
the white,
again
the
because
white fudge instead.
I'm gonna
I
try
feel
it
like
again because I need to figure it out.
yeah, go ahead. I feel like this one was a letdown. I don't think there's much to say on that.
Yeah, it's just
Oh my
not good. I don't
Yeah.
get. So this second bite, I guess it's worth to explain. I went from the inside out instead of from the outside in. So I got the middle of the Timbieb, and that tasted sort of fine. I think the coating on the outside, which is really the
Yeah.
main difference, is horrendous. And I will get the ingredients. I need to go harass somebody. I'm gonna go bribe a
You're gonna
manager
threaten.
somewhere.
You're gonna threaten.
Do you think they're gonna accept a Starbucks gift card?
I
I think if they had the birthday cake waffle, they would say yes. So, you know,
yeah, yeah.
I think they would no longer pledge loyalty to the Timbibs. Whew, that was interesting. Okay, I'm gonna
That
take
was
a
a
sip
roller
of
coaster.
water.
Yeah, that was a roller
It was
coaster.
rough. Okay. Holy mother of God. Whew. So the next time I want to get a haircut, I'm just gonna have a whole box of the birthday cake waffle, and the hair's just gonna fall out. Like I'm gonna save so much money. If only you knew how expensive women's haircuts are in downtown Toronto. This is gonna save me a ton of
Really?
money.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because I get basically a trim,
Hmm.
just the length I have, but shorter. I don't change the shape. And it's
Yeah.
usually like the fancy salons, obviously, that will actually do what you ask, because
Right.
English is my second language, and I'm scared of
Right.
them doing it different.
Yeah.
Those are upwards of $100. So yeah, I would just eat a couple birthday cake waffle. So now I'm scared. I don't.
For the white
Do you
fudge.
want to try chocolate white fudge? Okay, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna take off a piece of the coating, so it's really big chunks of
No, no,
white
yeah.
fudge.
Yeah, this looks like the coronavirus, actually. Like the model of coronavirus, you know what I
It
mean?
does.
It looks just like it. Like
There's
this is, yeah, this thing is like
one
coated in.
one thing I appreciate. If you look at photos of Justin Bieber holding a Timbiebs, he is holding a chocolate one,
Hmm.
and it looks like this. There's the same amount of coating, so I do appreciate that it looks the same, but it looks busted. Okay, let me
Yeah,
try a piece
these
of the
things have like
coating.
leprosy or like barnacles on them or something. Did you try it?
Yeah. So okay, let's. I have opinions. Let's try the whole thing. Something.
Cheers.
Okay, this one is safer.
Yeah.
This one is safe.
Yeah, the
You can give
coating.
this to children.
Yeah, the coating
They
doesn't
won't
taste the
get
same as the
leprosy.
birthday cake waffle. But I'm gonna be honest, this one is also not my favorite.
Yeah, it's not impressive to me. And it's
Yeah.
not particularly interesting. What I will say, what I can posit, because I don't have real hard data, is that if you take off a chunk of the white fudge and actually let it melt in your mouth, there is most definitely some type of milk powder to it to add some tang.
Mm-hmm.
So, although my personal fear was that it would be 100% sugar, you can tell there's a little bit more to the story, and they did try to make something, which I appreciate. Because, they are very deceptive, and I don't know.
Imagine if you get
I
the
don't know what they're
ingredients list.
about.
Imagine you get the ingredients list and it turns out that it is just sugar. God, I would be
I
devastated.
I would have to hand in my apron and my favorite knife. It's from Canadian Tire. It costs $40, but like it's a good knife. Anyways, so yeah, this one I would finish. Like I would take a second bite.
Hmm.
I would not take a second one.
I
You know?
wouldn't either. Yeah, it's the same thing as the birthday cake for me. I would finish the whole thing, but I would not buy this again.
Wait, I need to know right now, Juan. Did
Hmm.
you finish the birthday cake waffle?
Oh yeah, I ate like yeah, I said it last time too. I was like I would finish that one, but there's still two in here, but I'm not gonna eat that.
See, our metrics are different. You would eat everything, and I respect that. Like
Hmm.
zero waste. But I can't, Maxime's gonna eat it. Our beautiful producer. That's
That's
his
fine.
salary for today. He gets
That's
half
fine.
eaten Timbibs.
No, yeah, I'm definitely the type of person to always eat everything, even if I don't like it that much. That's just always been
Oh,
me.
yeah.
But I
I will
wouldn't get
say
it again.
if I'm at someone's house or if I'm visiting my family, I will eat every single crumb on my plate. If I'm alone and no one will ever catch me, I will give it to our beautiful producer, freeze it or like keep it for later, or like keep it until someone like if it's something that's bite sized. Let's say I make a couple pastries and by some mysterious set of circumstance I don't like it, I would freeze a handful of them until
Mhm.
someone comes over and I would say, "Hey, I tested this recipe. I personally don't like it, but they're pretty good.
Mhm.
Do you want some?" And that's usually how I limit food waste. But I'm not putting it in my mouth. I'm not putting this in my mouth again. The collaboration between Tim Hortons and Justin Bieber was very interesting because it was one of the first big celebrity collaborations in Canada, but they've been spread across North America for a long time. It's just it has never taken such a national kind of I don't know, connotation, because it was a Canadian artist collaborating with a Canadian born chain. So there's a lot of celebrity meals out there. There's Popeyes, who collaborated with Megan Thee Stallion. There's McDonald's, who collaborated with everybody from Mariah Carey to BTS. And then there's Subway, who's just
To Hello Kitty.
trying to snatch every athlete they can think of. But to me, from a business perspective, I did not really get why you would do a celebrity collab, especially at a time where someone with an opinion who has a high status can draw on such polarizing views that it makes it difficult for them to have commercial viability. So, like, on your end, why do you think they would make like a celebrity collaboration?
Marketing purposes, marketing reasons. It's just to bring in a bigger crowd, or to, it's essentially to bring in a specific age group, in my opinion. But, I mean, if
Yeah.
you were to see like McDonald's and BTS, for example, right? BTS is literally so popular
Oh,
here in
insane.
America, especially with the youth. And McDonald's is already popular itself, but if you can have a BTS meal, I mean, not even for the younger people, like a lot of, when I say younger, I mean teenagers,
No, I get what
whatever.
you mean, but there are strategic in who they pick, because like we didn't see Celine Dion coming out with her own Big Mac, or
Oh,
like we
no.
don't.
I feel like it's something that's trending. It has to be a group, or a person that's really, really trending, at least at the time of.
Yeah,
Because I
and
mean,
it shouldn't be
Megan Thee
someone who's.
Stallion. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
No, but I get exactly what you mean. It needs to be someone who's popular. I think also it cannot be someone. It needs to be someone who's on the up and up and really capturing what's happening right now in popular culture.
Hmm.
Because it couldn't be someone like Cher. Like Cher
Right.
would be kind of camp if she was to do a collaboration, because she's very. Her brand is very established,
Yep.
and it would feel out of touch to bring her back into the ring now of what's current, which is
Hmm.
exactly what those companies are trying to do. So,
Hmm.
what did you want to say about Megan Thee Stallion?
I was gonna say she was only famous for like a few seconds. At least that's how it feels in my end. I feel like I hear a lot more about BTS than I do Megan Thee Stallion. But I mean, like when she was having that endorsement or that celebrity meal thing, that's when, in my opinion, that's when I saw the most of her, specifically on social
Yeah,
media platforms like TikTok. That's when I saw more of her. But besides that,
yeah.
I barely hear her name. But BTS, I hear BTS regardless of a McDonald's meal or not. So,
No, that's fair. I mean, I'm in a weird position because I'll never know everything about Canadian or American culture in terms of what's popular right now, because I'm someone who was born in Quebec. And so I'm bilingual linguistically, but also culturally. I always am left out of most things. So I'll go back home and I'm like, I'll go in Toronto and I'm like, you haven't heard of Roxane Bruno? How dare you? And then literally at Christmas, I opened up the TV at a random channel, and here she was like judging in Quebec's The Voice kind of show. And I was like, oh, okay, Quebec has known. And then I go back to Quebec and I'm like, you haven't heard of Anthony Bourdain? And I feel like I've just discovered it. And then I go, like, I look and I'm like, oh, okay, so Kitchen Confidential was actually like, it came out in the 90s and actually super problematic. I thought I was like discovering something. So I don't know whether or not my knowledge of BTS or Megan Thee Stallion would ever be relevant, because I'm always missing out on both ends of the spectrum. But to me, Justin Bieber was the one that sort of got through, because even when I was living in Quebec, on the radio, he was playing all the time, especially that one song that he did for the Karate Kid soundtrack. That played for an entire summer at the summer camp I was at. And there was a whole choreography, and I did not do it well, but damn it, I sang that song with heart.
mhm.
And that was a time period in my life where I did not speak English, so I was mostly making sounds, but it was great. So to me, that's a big major one that's sort of into the mainstream and taps well into Canadian culture. But there are far and few celebrities in general that would tap into the market so well and in such a relevant way.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, there's also like when it comes to celebrity meals, I have my own reservations about them because I really do think. Sorry, you can hear
That's
my
okay.
puppy.
That's fine.
She's very cute, but she's very loud. But I have my reservations about because we live in a culture now where everything is so fast paced and everyone is so reactive to what's happening that
Mm-hmm.
medium term things like celebrity meals going on for about 3 months are very risky. So a good example related to this would be Travis Scott. In 2020, he did a collaboration with McDonald's. And now in 2021, there was this whole Astroworld event that happened, and people are not on his side and they do not like him. If the meal or the item for Travis Scott had been released at the same time, or within a month or so
Mm-hmm.
of the Astroworld event, things would not have gone well for McDonald's,
It would have
and the
bombed.
backlash would have been horrible.
Yeah.
Which is fair, but to me that makes it seem like, why would you ever get into any of this?
Yeah.
So there's an incredible article. Let me pull up who wrote it. It's in the New York Times. I paid to see the article, which I never do. And it's the single best thing I've ever done in my life. If you have 50 cents, you can subscribe, read it, and unsubscribe. I actually kept it on because I was so satisfied with the writing. So it's by Anna P. Kembampathy and Julie Creswell. Apologies if I did not get your name well. I meant the best. But they wrote an article delving into why celebrity meals are so successful and why they're here to stay. So when you're thinking about what they bring corporations, there's three big things. So the first one that seems obvious is traffic in restaurants. But that's not really what the companies are looking for. And you can see that through the celebrities they choose. They choose young, like celebrities that appeal to younger crowds
Mm-hmm.
to draw in younger audiences. But what they want to draw them onto are the apps, and even more specifically, the loyalty programs on the apps. Now, we've seen companies try to drag us on the apps. A good example of that is Starbucks. In Canada, they do those 2-for-1 deals on Wednesdays and Thursdays. They used to do them a lot more in the before times. And those deals were only available on the apps, but they drew a lot of traffic to them. Well, the same thing is happening with the celebrity meals. For example, when the Justin Bieber Timbits came out, there was a contest that you could participate to that would, if I'm not mistaken, allow you to win concert tickets, or like for a Justin Bieber show.
Right.
And that contest you could only participate in if you were to buy a box of 10 Timbiebs and scan it into the app. Like, it was very specific. They were not trying to hide it. To participate in the contest, you had to download the app and be a user. So another good example of that, and an example of its success, is in September 2020, Dunkin' started the Charlie, which was a rebrand of Charlie D'Amelio's Dunkin' Order. Now, I know of her, but I know very little. She's the most popular TikTok user. I think she has 134 million followers, something around that. Do you know about her? Of her?
Again, not as much. If anything, maybe about as much as you. Uh, I think I've seen her TikToks come across my view page a few times, but
Yeah.
I don't really follow her. I don't follow that whole trend, the hype house type thing, or whatever they call it. Um, but I do remember when she had Dunkin' that Dunkin' Donuts order, the drink that got so popular, so beyond popular.
Really?
That's all I would see. Yes, that is all I would
So
see on my For You page. It was crazy.
I read about it a little bit, but like I really saw it from a scholarly perspective. I
Hmm.
really studied this, but I did not see the phenomenon firsthand because once again, I'm kind of stuck between two cultures where I see neither of both. So
Hmm.
for me, from what I understood, it got so hyped up that it actually did a second drink collab with her.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've gathered on TikTok, she is known for drinking a specific cold brew drink every day. And like Duncan Corpus was like, she really cannot go like through her day without her Duncan. I was like, that doesn't sound healthy, but okay, I'll let the woman live. And so what Duncan did, kept it very simple. They did not reinvent anything. Once again, this is not a moment for creativity. It's a moment for marketing. They just took her order, gave it a name, and that was a drink. So they did not need any extra ingredients or anything like that. But when it came out in September 2020, it led to a record in daily active Dunkin' app users. Like, it was big. And that connection to the younger generations is really important because it allows a company to turn them into a bunch of things. First of all, of course, it allows for them to get our data. But one big thing is the hype surrounding those drinks and those things. So as you said, when the Charlie came out, everyone was talking about it on TikTok. The same thing happened in Canada. When the Timbits came out, the Timbiebs came out, everyone was talking about it. I myself started a series on TikTok, which I have now given up on because it's too much work, where I was taking every single province in Canada and I was turning it into a Timbit. I will say, all the recipes have been designed. It's just in winter in Canada, you get about 4 hours of natural light. So I can only record for 4 hours every Saturday. I'm not doing this anymore. But I was really into it. And I was like, how can we make Timbits better? Because those Timbibs are not it. And what I did, essentially, without even thinking about it, I was just, capitalizing on the hype. That's not true. Tim Hortons was capitalizing on me. I became an organic content creator. Because, like, at the drop of a hat, I heard of this hype surrounding the Timbits, and I was like, oh, I want to be a part of it. I want to be in the know. I want to access this thing that relates to a specific celebrity. And then I started making content about it, which is essentially free marketing. It's completely wild. So, yeah, that really is one of the biggest perks of celebrity deals. When you find the right person, even though people may have their opinions, like a lot of articles came out criticizing the flavor of the Timbits or saying, I love them, I hate them. A lot of people were like, oh, Timbiebs, they're dumb. Or, oh my God, Timbiebs, I must get them. They're so hard to get. Like, there was this whole hype. They even sold merch that started being resold, and people even started reselling the boxes for hundreds of dollars. But there's no bad publicity. This is all content that we can consume that reminds us of the brand. So really, for a generation that's so self-aware and cognizant of how, our privacy is constantly breached and we really are at the mercy of corporations, we are still very easily fooled because I
100%.
myself participated in this and it would be so easy to do it again. So yeah,
I mean, they know what they're doing, but I can't blame them because I'm the sucker that would buy it anyways. Even if they just flat out told me, like, we're doing this specifically so we can have you guys do this, and I'd be like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, there's still an urge within me that's like, if you come out with, I don't know, I need to think of someone, with a Shawn Mendes buffalo chicken donut, I will get it. And I will take a picture immediately and I will start recording and posting about it to let people know I'm the woman who tried it and who has an opinion about Shawn Mendes' donut. Like, we're very easy to trap because we're so much better understood than we think we are. Yeah. And right there and there is our fault. We think we're infallible because we're so self-aware.
Right.
It's just
I
not
agree.
the tea.
We're not like the people back then that were just easily fooled, but from a different perspective. Like, we're easily fooled, but because we allow it. I feel like they didn't know anything about it, but we're just like, oh, okay, but it's cool. It's whatever.
My thing is, we stopped being fooled in the way that past generations were, but there's always someone working harder than we are to trap us in a different way. And then a generation like, I don't know, maybe they'll end the alphabet one day, is going to come out and be like, oh my god, you make content about a corporation for free and then you spend all your time shitting on capitalism. You are so not self-aware. I'm so much more self-aware than you are. And then there's going to be a new thing that's going to come out that's going to trap them. Like, it's really a continuous cycle of us trying to beat corporations when they're 15 steps ahead.
Yeah, 100%.
It's insane. So the third biggest thing about the value of celebrity meals like Timbiebs is that this engagement through the apps gives corporations the ability to collect consumer information, such as, what they're ordering, where, at what time, how often, and with what method of payment. So this allows them, yes, to learn about their consumers, but then also to predict and influence their purchasing decisions. That is wild. And there's a good example that is mine. So I have a Tim Hortons across the street from my apartment. For the past 2 years, I've been getting an iced coffee for $1.88. And I've been getting tailored offers through the app. So for me, the reason why I order through the app is, one, to save time, but also because with English being my second language and living in Toronto, with my mask on, somebody else's mask on, and the glass in between the two of us, if they have an accent, I will not know what they're saying, and I'll just start saying yes. So there's been hundreds of times where I've ordered something, gotten something different, and they did not make a mistake. I just did not understand.
Right.
So I ordered through the app, and I've seen it that my offers are different from other people, and very often if a breakfast sandwich, like the egg and cheese one, is $1.99, I will get it. But that is the only offer I will use. And then they've started doing that more and more. And I now have absolutely no offers related to hot drinks because I do not drink those. But I have a bunch that are buy one, get the other free, which I would do because I have someone who lives with me. So really, you're thinking of this as like, oh yeah, but they're rewarding you based on your preferences. No, they're getting me to buy more shit and come back again, again, and again.
Right.
Yep. And it's essentially what they're doing is they're building the value per customer, which is exactly what other brands like Starbucks are doing as well. But they're really working hard at it by collecting all of our data through the apps, which is why personally I have a hard time with loyalty programs, because I have this sort of new generation feeling of, you can't fool me. I know that's to get me to come back. Whereas I would immediately download an app, instantly.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't think about it twice. So yeah. And then someone's going to tell me like, oh yeah, but they're taking out your data. I'm like, oh yeah, but they'll take it anyways. But I guess personally,
literally, like, who cares?
Like, we're just like, it doesn't have any consequences. It does, because they can now guide your purchasing decisions with what little disposable income you have. So yeah, through a single collaboration, a single 30-cent donut, we as customers are now app users, organic content creators, and more loyal and gullible clients to poach and push around. It is wild.
Wow, that's terrible timing, because I literally just got fooled by McDonald's to buy to use a 2-for-1 coupon. Or, well, it wasn't a 2-for-1. It was it was for 2 can dine. And so I've been fooled just recently to buy some McDonald's.
I often use the coupons, but I get them. So for a very long time, I would get the coupons on the website of McDonald's. And basically you could select your province and they would give you a list of coupons, and I would keep it, and I would get breakfast once in a while. And recently I noticed that about a month before the app launched, they stopped making it available. But I was using it so often that I still had the link, and I pressed the link from my history, and even that was not accessible. So it's kind of like the ingredients. They're keeping it from us. They do not want us to utilize offers unless in exchange they get information about us as individuals so that it can build value per customer. It's insane. So yeah. We think, we really think we're saving money, but instead we're serving well, we are by serving the purposes of a company and
Hmm.
ultimately being nudged towards spending more than we initially anticipated, you know?
Yeah.
Like, knowing you guys soon enough on your app is going to start offering chicken nugget deals. And you're just going to buy more than usual because there's a deal on it, of course.
And it's, got it. Maybe the app just knows me too well, but Lisa's the type of person to just get 6 nuggets. But if there's an option for 8, even if she doesn't want the 8, I always say, just get the 8. Because I would
Yeah.
probably eat the other 2. So yeah, I think they know me.
So,
God,
see,
I've been
if you're the
fooled.
type of person that would stack on more for a little bit more money, that's probably what they're going to try to capitalize on. Obviously, they don't want to come out and say this on Twitter because
Hmm.
they know the internet. They know the people. When you give us
Right.
information, you give us power. So, they're going to keep that from us. But one can posit that's probably what they're going to be looking towards.
Hmm.
Most companies nowadays are not making money from marketing, but
Hmm.
rather from information gathering. That's the essence of companies like McDonald's, Tim Hortons, and Amazon. They're all about your information, and they'll make your life easier if you give them information about you.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's a. I didn't think I was gonna learn so much.
If you want to think about more fun stuff, there's a nice touch that I've thought of while researching this. Um, Tim Hortons was started with Ron Joyce. I not exactly sure when. I don't want to misquote that. I think it was the 1960s, early on,
Hmm.
and it took about 2 years before Tim Hortons came on. Tim Hortons was a famous hockey player in Canada. That was a really, really big deal, and it matters more to generations like my parents and grandparents, not as much to me. However, when you think about what's on the box right now, Tim Hortons X Justin Bieber, this is a celebrity endorsed restaurant collaborating with, you know, a famous celebrity. So it's an endorsement collaborating with an endorsement, essentially. Like, this is not, like, what we're seeing now is not the first time we've seen an endorsement happen. And it's
Hmm.
actually getting really meta. And I'm now scared that we're only listening to celebrities to guide us in our purchasing decisions. But I like that what made Tim Hortons famous, in part, was the celebrity attached to it. And now what's making Timbiebs famous is the celebrity attached to it. I like that even 50 something years later, 60 something years later,
Hmm.
this is still what attracts us is a celebrity endorsement.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Because I would also fall for a celebrity endorsement.
Because if you had to choose between a birthday cake waffle Timbit and a birthday cake waffle Timbieb, even though it's related to Tim Hortons, the one that's also related to Justin Bieber, it's much more appealing to us,
Of
you know?
course, obviously, yes. Because it might be his
So,
favorite, and I have to know if my favorite would be his favorite.
oh, it's definitely his favorite. But
Yes,
yeah,
yes, it is. It's
so
not chocolate.
now we're getting into the last segment, and arguably my favorite one. So it would be creating our own Timbit box. So from the original, what would you put in your box? You're allowed to pick three.
From the original, God, I would say chocolate. That's for sure. Chocolate, honey, and honestly, I would love to say the strawberry one, but I haven't had it. But
You should choose
I
that one.
feel like it would be on my list if I actually tried it. But because it's not,
Yeah.
I'll just go with birthday cake.
Yeah, classic. I'm actually surprised because I thought for a second that birthday cake would be left off and put above chocolate. And I was like, are you pulling a Bieber right now? I do not believe this.
No, no, no. I'm choosing chocolate specifically because I feel like if I saw all of this in a box, I would go for the chocolate first.
Mm.
But it's my own
See,
box, right? So yeah, I would go for chocolate
yeah,
first. Yeah.
it's your box. So for me, I would say I would put honey dip all day. I
Mm-hmm.
would put strawberry filled, and that one has, powdered sugar around it, so it will look a little bit different.
Right.
And then I think I would put sour cream because that one is bomb. And this would be a box for adults. No one touches it. This is
Mm-hmm.
mine. And what I like is really it's this one, the one you sleep on, because I would bring one to my coworkers that has chocolate glaze. It has birthday cake. It has strawberry filled, and it would be a
Hmm.
decoy while I eat the good stuff at my desk.
Right.
Actually, I would take
Yes.
your favorite box and I would use it as decoy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Yes, I actually agree with you. I think I would actually choose your box over mine. Because even for a split second there, when I was making up my box, I forgot sour cream existed.
Sour
I've
cream
just,
exists.
no, yeah, I've been so thrown off by the Timbiebs that I forgot what the original one was already.
That's
The
fair.
this
No,
the Timbiebs had such an influence on my taste buds. I forgot there was
I'm
regular
very lucky.
Timbits.
I have the list in front of me because I will say I'm pretty sure my short-term memory has forever been affected by the birthday cake waffle one. Like I will have to
Yeah,
speak to my neurologist soon. Something's wrong. I'm gonna
yeah,
start
that threw
twitching
me
soon.
off. That completely threw me off.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of decoys in life. I grew up with 3 siblings, so I would take the fake box that would be like shiny and blingy and have sprinkles and chocolate and just look wild. I would throw in the buffalo chicken, even though, if we're honest, I would never take a second buffalo chicken Timbits. That's never good. Like you would have it to say you've had it,
Yeah,
kind of like a celebrity meal, but
yeah.
you would never buy it again. So I would have that as a decoy. I would chuck it into the masses, and I would run away with the good stuff.
It's funny because I was thinking the exact same thing. I was literally thinking about the buffalo chicken one, and as I was thinking it, you said it, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
what the?
Oh yeah.
So I
Absolutely.
agree. I agree. The buffalo chicken would definitely be a decoy.
So that would be like the basic start off box. Now, if you were to do like the same thing as Tim X Justin Bieber, Tim X1, what would be your like 2 to 3 flavors?
Hmm. It's actually a really good question. Could I make one up or no?
Oh no no, you're making all of them up.
Oh,
This
I
is
have to
your
make up
kitchen
two.
and you have all the budget you want. We will not making 33 cents and the ingredients will be available for the public to read.
Easy. Okay. So there's actually a Colombian dessert snack kind of called obleas, which is just
Okay.
like a vanilla wafer with a specific caramel spread that we call arequipe. It's just
Mhm.
caramel, but it's a lot thicker and richer in flavor.
Ooh.
And usually you eat this while the caramel is still kind of hot. You rub it together and you just, it's like a really, really thin vanilla wafer sandwich. I would make a flavor out of that, specifically because of the arequipe, because that's the main thing in the dessert. So arequipe timbits, which is like a caramel version of it, but these would be stuffed with it. So not only would it have some sort of flavor on the outside, it would be stuffed with that caramel filling, because the best. I'm getting sidetracked here. In Colombia, they have a Dunkin' Donuts over there,
Mhm.
and I went to Dunkin' Donuts once, strangely, and they had an arequipe donut, and I have not ever found a donut flavor that I have liked more besides that one. Because
That actually sounds
to me
really
it was
good. Yeah.
so good. To me it was like a perfect balance, and because it was filled with it, I was like, this is the one. So that's one. Let me choose another one. So that'd be my
I like
first
this. No,
Timbit.
already I'm interested. I'm wired in. Yeah.
Eh, actually, I really like cookies and cream, and I don't think I've seen
Mm.
a. I mean, the
From
sour cream and chocolate chip might be a little bit there, but I think sour cream. Not sour. What am I saying? Cookies and cream Timbit would be really nice. However, I
oh,
think it should. I don't think it should just be a chocolate based donut. Like I don't think it should be chocolate. Like I think they should try and make a mixture that is actually cookies and cream, where you could see the cookies and like a little bit of cream in the cake mix. I feel like it would be a cake donut, sadly.
oh yeah, that's okay.
Um,
We'll still love it.
right? But that would be perfect. I want to bite into it, and I want it to look like a Dalmatian. I don't want it to just be white. I don't want it to just be a
Yeah,
chocolate ball
layered.
with like white stuff on it. Like I don't want it to be like white chocolate fudge, like this boring, Timby one. No, it has to have like design. It
Oomph.
has to be really
Yeah,
good. Yes,
absolutely.
it's gonna look like a zebra. That's what I need.
No, I like that. I think it's good for donuts to have some sort of design to it. It does make it more appealing and lets you know it's not a one note experience. So
Right.
I like that. You could technically make 2 batters and make one tangier with the icing. Because Oreo, I would like to argue that the icing in the middle, even though it's like insanely sweet, has some sort of tang to it that is reminiscent of cream cheese. So you can make 2 batters and then if you manage to build a little bit of gluten, even though it's a little bit of a no-no, you could mix them together and get striations that would make it a zebra cookies and cream Timbit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then Lisa would eat it every single day.
Yes, yes, she would.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So, what about you? What would your Tim X Tory collab look like?
So, see, I've already made TikToks about it because I'm an organic content creator who gets fooled by corporations. So, I would say the first one would be my coffee order. So, it's oat milk cold brew. So, I would do a tasty, like, actually, my order is mocha oat milk cold brew. It takes a long time
Hmm.
to say to people. So, I'm very ashamed and I just get it off the app so I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
explain myself to a grown adult. But I would do a mocha Timbit with a really strong chocolate flavor. It would be like $5 a Timbit. I would really get the good cocoa. And then a hint of instant espresso.
Mm-hmm.
And then the outside would actually have oats around it. So it would be textured.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really just for looks. That would be the one that would stand out to people. And they'd be like, ooh, what's that? And you'd be like, oh, it's oat milk mocha. And they'd be like, ooh. And
Would
then
that be a seasonal one? Like, would that be a seasonal option?
I feel like it would be, but I don't know what season it would be because it cannot be fall. Pumpkin
Damn.
has invaded fall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was thinking of fall. Oh my god. In my head, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is definitely a fall flavor, and then maybe spring. I don't know. Does
I
that sound
think
like
it would be
spring?
spring because like rejuvenating a little bit of
Mhm.
espresso. You need
Mhm.
this because you just made it through Christmas with your family. I
Yeah.
think that would be a good spring thing.
Yeah,
But
summer's too
then,
hot for that.
yeah, the second one, I would want to do a reference back to Quebec.
Mhm.
So I've actually made it on TikTok. I think I'm going to delete it now because I'm getting depressed at how much I'm giving Tim Hortons. But it's a blueberry one with fresh blueberry. So that flavor
Mhm.
does exist. But then the outside is a pure maple glaze.
Mhm.
And what you can do is while the donut is still hot, you can dip it in maple sugar. So it looks like a dry sugar coating around it, but then it
Mhm.
definitely tastes like maple.
Right.
So that would be a big thing. And then I would sneak in just a little bit of salt amongst that maple sugar just to like keep you hanging and have you
Mhm.
have another one. And then the second one,
That was the
actually the
second one.
dessert thing.
Third one.
Oh, the third one. Because I'm never stopping. I'll have ideas till the day I die. I thought of it as you were talking about your vanilla caramel dessert.
Mhm.
There's this dessert from actually Saigon Lotus. It's even though the restaurant is Vietnamese, they make this Thai dessert. I suspect you've had it before. It's really good. It's mango sticky rice.
Really?
So it's so good. Oh my god. Everyone should have this. I will never make it correctly at home. I've made it like 15 times and then I had it again yesterday and I was like, "Oh, god dang it. I've done it wrong." But it's really chewy sweet rice with
Okay.
very thin slices of mango. That's how they make it at a restaurant. And
Hmm.
this thick, lightly sweetened coconut syrup.
Okay.
So that to me is insane. What I'm envisioning is nearly closer to mochi. It would be
Hmm.
an insanely chewy, probably sweet rice flour based.
Okay.
Like yeah, an insanely chewy sweet rice flour based donut. They would be
Mhm.
yeasted. I've said that 5 times. And then the middle
Yeasted.
would be a coconut sort of syrup that would be really thick, almost like a custard, with tiny little pieces of mango.
Mhm.
And then you would not be able to tell me anything.
That sounds good. I think it's great. I would try it.
It would be incredible, and also it would be $15. So that would be like the Timbit of the 1%.
I mean, anything for good quality flavors, but I would be the sucker to actually buy it. $15 for this thing, I would do it. I would do it. It's about the experience.
Well, yeah, and you know what? You can tell because I don't finish foods that I don't like. I will always prefer spending a little bit more on a lot less.
Mhm.
So if you have to give me the choice between, 10 Timbits for $2.69 or a single mango sticky rice pudding Timbit for $15, I will take the mango sticky rice Timbits any day of the week. Like, to me, that is what, like, food experiences that are the most, I would say, life-giving should be. It should be something that is really tasty and high quality over something, a little bit quicker and cheaper. Even though I know this speaks to the issue of accessibility, and I'll
Right.
always be the woman who brings a box of 40 Timbits to a hockey game, because you can't bring $15 mango sticky rice Timbits to a hockey game. But, like, even then, for myself individually, I will prefer the higher quality item that I can only get once. And then
Hmm.
I will really enjoy it. That's
Yeah.
my take.
Yeah. I agree with it.
Yeah. So now, for the closing question of that segment is, do you think Tim Hortons would ever collaborate with us?
With us specifically, I mean, we don't have that much of a fan base, but I would like to say, or I would like to think, believe, whatever,
Hmm.
that Tim Hortons will one day have somebody working in their, like, I don't know, whoever makes these executive decisions for flavors in their flavor category of their, whatever.
Mm,
I
the
would
flavor
love,
wizard.
yeah, I would love for the flavor wizard to be like, huh, you know what? We should take it abroad and try
Yeah.
different flavors from the world. And it just so happens that Colombia makes these things called obleas, and they're gonna make it. Oh, and it also happens that Vietnam happens to have this mango rice dish. So it'd be
Yeah.
cool to have them like explore international flavors. Like
Well,
that
I
would
think it's,
be.
yeah. I think actually that is something that would be entirely possible, because there's been this trend of younger generations being a lot more, I guess, adventurous with their
Hmm.
food choices. So a good example of that is when you go to Loblaws now, there's ice cream that is yuzu flavored, which is an Asian type of citrus. And then
Hmm.
you get this gochugaru wings. Like, all those little things from different countries are inserting themselves into mainstream food choices.
Hmm.
So I do think that would be possible. Now, I like that your take on it was, I don't think we have the clout yet for Tim Hortons to be attracted to us as marketing agents.
Hmm.
My take is, by the time we have the clout for Tim Hortons to gravitate towards us, they will have put me in jail, because I will have broken into their headquarters on
To get
King
their
Street
ingredients.
to get my hands on fucking ingredients that they say they don't have. But I have some questions, because how can a corporation have a customer service department related to the corporation itself that doesn't have access to their ingredients? I don't get it, and I will break in. I live very close to the headquarters. I know exactly where they are, and I will get that list. So what I think is going to happen is, you're going to get your collab. You're going to get everything you ever wanted. By the way, your third flavor should be matcha, but, like, you're going to get everything you ever wanted, and I'm going to be in jail vibing
Your mango
with the
rice
ingredient
idea
list.
is just gonna be blacklisted from like they're just gonna blacklist it and be like, you know what? Here's the flavors we're never gonna do, and mango sticky
Yeah.
rice is one of them.
They're like, mango sticky rice? Never.
Not
It
today.
reminds us of that one woman. The one we cannot say the name of, because she will find out we said her name. She will call, you know?
She will call for the eighth time today.
Like, right now, they still have a phone line, which shockingly is open, if I'm not mistaken, from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. They have a phone line for customer service related to their, like, the corporation itself.
Why?
I think they're gonna remove that soon because of me.
Oh my god. Do they have this specifically for people doing research about Timbits, about Tim Hortons in general? That's why they have
Like,
this
it.
customer service line.
I understand that by the end of this podcast, people are gonna be like, "Wow, she's talked for like 3 hours about how hard it was to get the ingredient list." I don't think you guys get it. I emailed them. Yes, that took 2 weeks for them to get back to me. That's okay. That happens. But also, I called at 10 p.m. on a Saturday their customer service line, and the website said, if you want more information about nutrition, please call this line. I called the line, and then the line had an automatic voicemail, like, um, sort of directory that said, if you want nutritional information and ingredients and everything, go on our website. So I've been through this. I've delved deep into the belly of the beast, and I still don't have answers. So I'm thinking that any way for me to find success in my quest has to be on the dark side, you know?
Twitter.
Oh, God.
The dark side of
Maybe
Twitter.
We do need a Twitter.
That's what I'm saying. You have to go on there, tweet it out, and be like, "At Tim Hortons, we need your ingredients list because."
Why do it? No. We've got to go underground. We've got to go on the sides. Okay, now I'm on board with a Twitter because we could get in touch with an old Tim Hortons manager who hates Tim Hortons, and they would be able to get the list to us. Like, we need to get a disgruntled store manager, and then we'll get the tea.
I think if you call a store more than enough times, that might become that, disgruntled store manager. So I think it's up to you to just keep bothering them for the ingredients.
I could cause the problem to get the solution.
Exactly.
I like this. We've got a plan. But yeah, so unfortunately, or arguably, fortunately, we've come to the end of our donut journey. How do you feel?
I feel ecstatic. I thought I really enjoyed my time. I thought it was really eye-opening. There was so much information that I was not expecting in the first place. I think you prepared me a little bit for it, but you did not prepare me that much for this. That was really insightful, and it actually made me realize just how much of a puppet I am to all these people, to these corporations, because I cannot believe how much money I throw at them. Willingly, I just throw it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, yeah.
I try to be a very aware consumer, and about once a week I think about giving up my phone and the apps and living in the woods, and I never actually do it. Mm-hmm. And I realize even though I'm very self-aware and I have good intentions and I try to stay away from corporations, I'm playing right into their hand. So I remember when I first started researching this episode, I texted you, I'm at work on lunch reading this, and I realized my mouth is wide open because I drooled on my desk. Well, I was actually reading that article by the New York Times, The Era of Celebrity Meals, and I was realizing how easily I had played into their hands.
Right.
And I was just like, it was wild. So for me, this episode was really like a little bit sweet, arguably too sweet, very light, a little bit chewy, they had some bite to it, and just a little bit dramatic. So I think on my end, I'm really baffled at how successful Tim Hortons marketing has been, considering how much I hate Timbits. I'm sorry. I want to say this, I don't like Timbits. I don't think they're a good food item. I don't think they bring me as much joy as they should. I would much rather have a Krispy Kreme donut than a Timbits. Right. However, I'm much more likely, due to convenience, affordability, and general accessibility and this whole spirit surrounding the Timbits in Canada, to buy Timbits over Krispy Kreme donuts. Mm-hmm. So that's completely wild to me, yeah.
I agree. This really took me by surprise. This was really insightful. This was really good, and it actually made me appreciate the flavor of the Timbits a lot more. I feel like I've never actually fully interrogated Timbits like I have today. I think I'm going to be more selective of my flavors from now on.
Absolutely, sour cream just gained some points, and it really took us by surprise.
Yeah, 100%. That definitely gained some points. Thank you for listening to the Canadian Food Podcast. We sure hope that you liked this episode.
And, if you like this episode, please leave us a 5-star review wherever 5-star reviews are left. I don't really get the podcast platform system yet. And then let us know what you liked and what you truly hated. Do you think the birthday cake waffle Timbit tastes good? Well, unfortunately, you are entitled to your opinion. Let us know what you think via email at thecanadianfoodpodcast@hotmail.com. You can also check out our website, thecanadianfoodblog.ca. And if you would like to hear this podcast all over again in French, Le Podcast La Bouffe Canadienne is available now wherever you got this podcast from. So go listen to it. I cannot promise it's better, but I can promise we recorded it.
And come back next week for another episode, and the week after for just one more.
And okay, that's it. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Have a great night.